Most states have only one national park. Utah has 5. I want to break down each of them a bit for you and show you the easiest way to explore them and the harder way. Back in 2013, the state of Utah launched a state tourism campaign. They took 5 parks conceived of and founded over half a century apart with more than 400 miles of road between them, and they made them a unit. The Mighty 5 was born, and it's one of the most mind-blowing road trips in the world. The Mighty 5 tourism campaign ran from 2013 to 2015, and it was way more successful than the state ever imagined. In the years following the campaign, 4 of the 5 parks hit their highest ever visitation levels, with millions of people visiting each park every year. It turned one of the most sparsely populated regions in the US into one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. But the Mighty 5 are about so much more than just a 2-year ad campaign. They're about hundreds of geological formations and unique ecosystems that were formed over millions of years. Let's explore. All 5 parks are located in southern Utah, on the Colorado Plateau. The easternmost park is Arches National Park. Arches is known for, its arches. Arches are naturally occurring rock formations where eons of weathering and erosion carve out the middle of a rock, leaving a long, thin strip above. Arches National Park has the greatest concentration of these natural phenomena anywhere in the world. In the 76,000 acres of the park, there are more than 2,000 arches. Most of the arches are made up of soft red sandstone that was deposited over 150 million years ago. Major geological features include Delicate Arch, which you can also find on Utah's license plates, Balanced Rock, Double Arch, and Fiery Furnace. The easiest way to do arches is to drive. There's a scenic drive that runs through the heart of the park. It starts in Moab Canyon at the park's entrance and goes all the way to Devil's Garden. There's stops along the road with short trails to see the sights. You can see Balanced Rock, the Windows, Turret Arch, and Sand Dune Arch easily this way. For a bit more of a challenge, there's a 1.5-mile trail that leads you to Delicate Arch. It's all on slick rock, which gets really slippery, so make sure to wear your hiking shoes. If you're feeling really ambitious, you can hike Devil's Garden Trail. It's a 7.7-mile loop that leads you past 7 of the park's major arches. Be sure to bring lots of water, especially if you're hiking in the summer. Park rangers recommend at least a gallon per person. Last time I visited, I did this and I still got heat stroke, so be careful out there. Next up is Canyonlands National Park. Canyonlands is known for being big. It's 340,000 acres in total. There are 3 main areas of the park. Number 1 is Island in the Sky. It's a mesa rising 2,000 feet up from the valley floor. The second is the Needles, marked by red and white pinnacles 400 feet tall. And third is the Maze, a remote region at the very edge of the park. The most accessible part of the park is the Island in the Sky. You can drive right along the top of it and see all the canyons in the valley below. The scale of this place is truly breathtaking. For more of a challenge, go to the Needles. There's a popular 5.5-mile trail called Confluence Overlook Trail, and then there's also the more scenic 2.5-mile Slick Rock Trail. This area has formations like Molar Rock, Angel Arch, and Pothole Point. If you head west from Canyonlands, eventually you'll hit Capitol Reef National Park. Even though it's in the middle, Capitol Reef is the most remote of the 5 parks. It's named for a colorful section of cliffs near the Fremont River that look like an ocean reef, and also for its domed white rock formations that look a little bit like the US Capitol building. The park is full of these massive domes and canyons. 2 people groups left their mark on Capitol Reef: the Fremont tribe and Mormon pioneers. The Fremont were an ancient people group who lived here from about 300 to 1300 Common Era. Why they left is still debated by scholars. The Fremont are known for their beautiful rock art, also called petroglyphs. Almost 600 years later, Mormon pioneers settled in the area and established a town called Fruita at what is now the center of the park. Like Arches, Capitol Reef has a scenic drive that runs straight through the park. The roadside is dotted with old pioneer structures and viewing decks to see the petroglyphs on the side of the cliffs. You'll also see fantastic rock formations this way. Deeper in the park, there are 2 excellent hikes. The Rim Overlook Trail is a little over 2 miles along the cliff tops, and it gives you a great view of Fruita in the valley below. Or you can hike 1.7 miles up to Cassidy Arch, which is actually named for Butch Cassidy, the famous outlaw who is said to have a hideout up in the canyon. The fourth park is Bryce Canyon National Park. Bryce is known for its distinctive hoodoos, which are tall, thin rock spires that stick up from a basin or a badland. The park has the greatest concentration of hoodoos on Earth. Bryce runs along the edge of the Pasogant Plateau, which drops off sharply into a dense amphitheater of seemingly endless rock formations. Famous formations include Thor's Hammer, Wall Street, and Queen's Garden. You can see many of the sights in Bryce by driving along the top of the plateau. If you start at Bryce Point, you can see the grottos, the alligator, and the sinking ship. From here, you can drive to Inspiration Point, then Sunset Point, where you can see Thor's Hammer and Silent City. If you're looking for more of a challenge, hike the Navajo Loop Trail combined with the Queen's Garden Trail. This gives you a nice 2.9-mile loop into the canyon below. Or if you really want to level up, you can do the strenuous 8-mile Fairyland Loop Trail, and that'll take you past all the hoodoos your heart could ever desire. Last, but probably the most popular, is Zion National Park. Zion's a massive canyon surrounded by sheer cliffs. Mormon pioneers called the rocks natural temples of God and gave the park its name. The walls of Zion were made by millions of years of flowing water cutting through red and white beds of Navajo sandstone. You can drive through the park by taking the Zion Mount Carmel Tunnel. It's a famous mile-long tunnel straight through the cliffs, and it'll take you to the Zion Canyon Scenic Drive. The most famous part of the park is the Narrows, where canyon walls are 2,000 feet high. You can see it by taking the 2-mile paved riverside walk. The best view in Zion is Angel's Landing. It's a high, open spire of rock at the end of a 2.5-mile hike on the very edge of a cliff. According to the guidebooks, if you're afraid of heights, you should definitely skip this one. So that's Utah's Mighty Five: Arches, Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, Bryce Canyon, and Zion National Park. Now you know just enough to start planning your own adventure to all 5. Thank you so much for watching. These are some of my favorite places in the world, and I hope you can enjoy them just as much as I do. If you want to find more adventures, brighttrip.com is the place for you. It's a great way to become a more informed and prepared traveler. If you're an avid road tripper like me, you'll love the course on how to road trip southern Iceland. I'll see you on the road.